I turned 100 years old 3 weeks ago. They threw me a party, cake, balloons, people smiling for photographs they'll post and forget. Everyone kept saying the same thing. You've lived such a long life. But here's what nobody wants to hear. I wasted most of it. Not all of it. Not the moments that mattered. But far too much. And I'm standing here today at the very edge of everything because I need to tell you something before I go. Something I wish someone had told me when I was your age, when I still believed I had forever. You don't. None of us do. And the tragedy isn't that life is short. The tragedy is that most of you are living like it's infinite. I see it everywhere. In the young man at the coffee shop, head down, rushing to a meeting he doesn't want to attend. In the mother who promises her daughter, "Next weekend, honey, I'm too busy now." In the father working 16-hour days for a promotion he thinks will finally make him happy. You're all waiting for the right time, the right job, the right amount of money in the bank, the right moment when everything finally aligns, and you can start actually living. But that moment, it never comes, because there's always one more goal, one more milestone, one more reason to postpone the life you actually want to live. I know this because I did it too. For decades, I told myself, when I retire, when I have enough saved, when the kids are grown, when things settle down, then I'll take that trip. Then I'll spend real time with the people I love. Then I'll do what makes me happy. That never came. And now I'm here, 100 years old, with more regrets than memories worth keeping. Let me tell you about Jack. Jack was my best friend for 47 years. We grew up together, went to war together, started our families in houses right next to each other. Our kids played in the same yard. Our wives had coffee every Thursday morning. Jack was like a brother to me. But Jack had a dream. He wanted to take his wife, Margaret, to Paris. She talked about it since they were dating. She had this old photograph of the Eiffel Tower torn from a magazine, and she kept it in her wallet for 30 years. 30 years. Every anniversary, every birthday, Jack would say, "Next year, Maggie. Next year when the business is more stable. Next year when we have a little more saved. Next year when I'm not so busy." Jack was always chasing something. A bigger house, a better car, more respect at work. He wanted to provide, to be successful, to show everyone he'd made it. And he did make it. By the time he was 55, Jack owned 3 stores, had a beautiful home, drove a Mercedes. People respected him. He'd won, except he hadn't. Because at 56 years old, Jack had a heart attack in his office on a Tuesday afternoon. He died surrounded by paperwork and employee schedules and inventory reports. Margaret wasn't there. His kids weren't there. Just business. Just the things he thought mattered. I went to clean out his desk, found Margaret's old photograph of Paris tucked in the back of a drawer, faded and creased. She never made it there. Not with Jack. Not ever. She died 4 years later, and I think part of her had already died that Tuesday in Jack's office, when she realized all those next years were gone. That destroyed me. Standing in Jack's office holding that photograph, understanding that my best friend had spent 47 years preparing for a life he never lived. He died rich and successful and completely empty. All that time, all that sacrifice, all those postponed dreams. For what? For a bigger headstone? You want to know what Jack said to me 2 weeks before he died? We were having coffee, and I asked him if he was happy. He looked at me with these tired eyes and said, "I will be. Just need to close this next deal. Then I can finally relax." He actually believed it. He believed the next achievement would be the one that finally made everything worth it. It wouldn't have, because it never does. There's always another deal, another goal, another reason to wait. I learned something that day in Jack's office, something that changed the last 44 years of my life. I learned that we're all living under an illusion, the illusion that we have time, that tomorrow is guaranteed, that we can always do it later, say it later, love people later, live later. But later is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the uncomfortable truth. This moment, right now, is all we actually have. After Jack died, I changed everything. I quit my job that I hated, but stayed at because it was stable. I took my wife dancing every Friday night like we used to when we were young. I showed up to my daughter's piano recitals, really showed up, not just sat in the back checking my watch. I stopped caring what my neighbors thought about my car or my house or my clothes. I stopped living for some imaginary future version of myself who would finally be happy enough, successful enough, worthy enough. I started living for Tuesday afternoons, for Sunday morning breakfast, for the feeling of my wife's hand in mine during walks we didn't need a reason to take, for laughter that served no purpose except joy, for conversations that went nowhere except deeper into connection. And you know what I discovered? All those things I thought mattered, the money, the status, the achievements, the possessions, they meant nothing. Nothing. At the end, none of it counts. Not one bit. What counts is this. Did you love people while you had them? Did you tell them? Did you show them? Did you waste your one precious life trying to impress strangers and climb ladders that lead nowhere? Or did you have the courage to live now, to be present now, to love now? Because here's what nobody tells you when you're young and invincible. One day, you'll be sitting where I'm sitting, if you're lucky. If you get 100 years like I did, and you'll look back at your life, and you'll ask yourself one question. Did I live? Or did I just exist? Most people just exist. They sleepwalk through decades, waiting for permission to be happy, waiting for the perfect circumstances, waiting for fear to go away, waiting for someone else to give them permission to want what they want and be who they are. But fear never goes away. The circumstances are never perfect. And nobody's coming to give you permission. You have to give it to yourself. I see so many of you prisoners of your own ego, afraid to look foolish, afraid to fail, afraid to be vulnerable, afraid to admit you want something different than what you have. So you hide behind work, behind busyness, behind the lie that you're building something, when really you're just avoiding something. Avoiding the terrifying, beautiful risk of actually living. Let me tell you what matters at 100 years old. It's not the promotion you got or didn't get. It's not the size of your house. It's not how many people came to your birthday party or how impressive your resume looked. It's simpler than that and more profound. It's the night you stayed up until 3 in the morning talking with someone you loved about everything and nothing. It's the way your child's hand felt in yours. It's the sunset you actually stopped to watch. It's the apology you gave. It's the forgiveness you offered. It's the moment you chose connection over being right. It's the time you were brave enough to be yourself, even when it was uncomfortable. Those moments, The small, quiet, ordinary moments of real human connection and presence. Those are what you'll remember. Those are what you'll wish you had more of. Not more meetings, not more money, not more likes on your photos. More love, more presence, more courage to live before it's too late. Jack never got that. He ran out of time before he figured it out. And I think about him every single day. I think about that photograph of Paris and all the trips he never took and all the moments he missed, because he was too busy preparing for a future that never came. Don't be Jack. Please. I'm begging you. Don't sacrifice your life for things that won't matter when you're dying. Because you will die. I will die. We all will. That's not morbid. That's not depressing. That's the most important truth you'll ever hear. Your time is limited. It's running out right now, this very second. So what are you waiting for? What are you postponing? Who do you need to call? What do you need to say? What dream are you putting off until someday? What life are you not living because you're afraid or busy or waiting for permission? Stop waiting. There is no perfect time. There's only now, this moment, this breath, this chance to choose differently. Call that person you've been meaning to call. Take that trip. Start that project. Leave that job that's killing your soul. Tell people you love them while they can still hear it. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Let go of the grudges that are poisoning you from the inside. Stop performing for people who don't care. Stop hiding from yourself. Live. Please. Just live. Not someday. Not when everything's perfect. Not when you're ready. Now. Today. This moment. Because I'm 100 years old, and I'm here to tell you the truth nobody wants to say out loud. You're running out of time. We all are. And when you get to where I am, you won't regret the things you did. You'll regret the things you didn't do, the risk you didn't take, the love you didn't give, the life you didn't live. I'm telling you this because I care. Because I see you making the same mistakes I made, the same mistakes Jack made, and I can't stay silent. I'm at the end. You're not. You still have time. But not as much as you think. So please use it. Stop waiting. Start living. Before it's too late. Before you're sitting where I'm sitting, looking back at a life half-lived, wishing you could go back and tell your younger self what I'm telling you right now. The time is now. It's always been now. It will only ever be now. Don't waste it.